Hey guys, what's up? This is Morgan from Morgan Insights, and we are here to talk about the 2019 Pluto Retrograde transit. So for starters, go ahead and like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel. If you are looking to support the work, if you watch all of our videos and you're always interacting with us, please become a Patreon. You get access to exclusive horoscope podcasts and all different types of monthly things that are specific to your sign. And also check out the links in the description that give you access to free weekly horoscopes, free daily horoscopes, moonscopes, all of that isn't exclusive to the Patreon community. But I do encourage you to support the continued work and pledge $5 a month to support the channel and the website and everything that we do with Morgan Insights. So Pluto retrograde. Pluto will station retrograde at 23 degrees Capricorn on April 24th, which is a Wednesday, the last week in April. So Pluto is a planet, right? And when we think about in terms of energy, essence, the way that planets interact with us on Earth as human beings and as spirits and all of those things. Pluto is representative of the energy of death, of resurrection, of soul transformation from a very emotional standpoint, the underworld, the things that we experience that change us on the inside. So when Pluto goes retrograde, what a retrograde period is it's an illusion, right? And so the planet appears to be moving slower and in a backward motion. And so the planet is said to be in retrograde. And so energetically, what astrology has applied to this is that when a planet is retrograde, that natural energy of whatever sign, whatever placement, whatever house, all of the things, the factors that go into how energy is interpreted is identified based on this retrograde position. So it's reverse, right? And so when we think about Pluto in its retrograde phase, we think about reflective experiences. So this is a time, a period, about 6 months plus the retrograde shadow period. So between April 24th and October 3rd, Pluto will be retrograde in the 10th sign of Capricorn. So the energy that Pluto will be experienced is one that is very introspective. There's more time, more space, more energy, more focus on really deep emotional experiences that transform how you respond to external stimuli, which is your home environment, your work environment, your friendships, your relationships, the food you eat, anything that is external to you that affects you internally is going to be up for identification. But this is really focusing, with it being in the sign of Capricorn, we're really learning from the authority of our life, the public relationships that we have. So for a lot of people, this is professional. A lot of the executive type ventures that you have taking place behind the scenes is going through a deep transformation. And Jupiter being retrograde in Sagittarius, there might be this indirect approach on having to be more realistic about something where you saw a lot of opportunity and you might have been extremely optimistic about it. This retrograde cycle with both Jupiter and Pluto, and then with Saturn towards the end of April 29th, going retrograde until September. This really is a time of deep introspection where we are having to review the decisions that we make. And with it being in an earthly sign like Capricorn, which is also a cardinal energy, a lot of the things that we're starting during this time period, we might be moving really fast. And this retrograde season comes in to kind of slow things down and give us an opportunity to evaluate, are we taking the most realistic approach? Are we taking the most the logical approach? Or are we leaning more towards the emotional? Or are we too logical and we need to be more emotional? And really is asking you to get in alignment with your sense of purpose, your sense of dedication. What are you really working towards? What are you building towards? how does this affect you emotionally? How does this affect you spiritually? On a spiritual plane, how is your energy? On an emotional plane, how is your energy? Are you paying attention to the ways in which spirit is trying to move you? Are you being very resistant to the changes happening in your life? So this is a very reflective time, and much like Mercury retrograde, things feel like they're going haywire because you're more aware of what's taking place, because you're not running around doing 50 million things. You're actually being forced to be present in the moment, because that's just how life is. Things are going to slow down, contracts are going to slow down, there might be a lot of negotiation between contracts, there might be some disagreements about contracts, there is some type of delay, and it's not negative, but it's reaffirming, because it really allowed you to get in touch with the true spirit of what it is that you're building towards. And Capricorn is a very creative sign. Capricorn is also a teacher. So this is also a period where you can transform and learn a lot and really cultivate your craft and your skills by using a mentor, or by teaching others, or by enrolling in some type of leadership program or training program or certification program, but really refining your skills from a very internal level. And that comes from getting back in alignment with what you really want to be doing, what your soul really says it's time to do, because whatever it is that you're refining right now is something that you're committed to long term, and it's something that you need to pay a little bit more attention to. You can't expect for things just to transpire on its own. You really do need to allocate that energy towards your goal. You really do need to put that focused awareness towards your goal. What you're learning as an individual is about self-improvement, and about how your sense of dedication, your sense of focus, your sense of planning. Capricorn is a very organized sign. Capricorns are planners. They're not only planners, but they also have the capability of being very persistent doers. Once they have a fixed goal, they're very adamant about following the process to get to that place, and they're patient in this processing. And so what we're learning from Pluto on a very soulful level is the importance of process, the importance of having a goal, the importance of planning, but still being open to change, and to spontaneity, and to creativity, and to responsibility, and to reputation. And so a lot of the things that you're working on are very public oriented. They're very service oriented. They're geared towards helping other people. They're geared towards being on a platform. There's a lot of people who are working on building a platform, or revamping a platform, or getting more specific in marketing a platform. But there's some sort of essence of mentee, mentor, and the master. We're learning the understanding of hierarchy and where its natural order is in the universe, and how we play a role in that natural order. So this is a very serious time, and for some people this can be very like drowsy and draining, because it is so persistent. Like this isn't really a time for rest. Is going to happen, because there's always space for rest. Rest is something that you embody. It's not something that you do. It's you're resting within. You can be active and still rested within yourself. So there's a difference here, but we're learning that difference now, where we're not feeling this need to be busy all the time, but that's transformational, and there's going to be resistance to that. But it's important to remember that this is an ongoing cycle, and that Capricorn's native ruler is Saturn, and Saturn will be following suit in this retrograde cycle with Jupiter and Pluto. And so we need to be made aware that there is a lot of energy and focus right now in the signs of Capricorn. And so there's a lot of lesson here that we are learning, and sometimes lessons can be painful, but the best thing about Capricorn is the persistence to still climb that hill, to walk up that mountain, no matter how long it takes. So if you do feel overwhelmed, if you do feel like, you're not going to make it to the end of this, then remember that it's a process and it's step by step, and all you have to do is focus on the step that's right in front of you. You don't have to focus on the next 10 steps. Know that they're coming and understand that. Don't fold into this sense of escapism. Be very practical and real and honest with yourself, right? We're practicing more honesty. We're practicing being more direct. With Jupiter being retrograde in Sagittarius, we are learning those traits of always being optimistic, but still being realist at the same time. And so there's that balance, right? And with the Libra full moon still being in essence, floating around at the time that Pluto goes retrograde, there is still this phenomena of finding the balance within the chaos and making the chaos beautiful, and understanding that chaos is nature and nature is chaos. And if we just allow ourselves to become it, then we're naturally in the flow. So I'll post some more videos about Pluto retrograde as we go along, because I think it's going to be very significant in helping us mature, so that we are prepared for what is to come this fall and winter, because it's going to be pretty awesome. Love you guys. Peace.